right. We are now at number 2, January 2024. CSEC math. All right, we are number 2 now. All right, so first part wants us to simplify this expression. So it's to recognize the factors in the numerator and in the denominator. So the numerator has a common factor of x. So this can be written as x into x plus 7 if we factorize the numerator. The denominator is the difference of 2 squares, where this 49 is 7 squared. So the denominator really is the same as x squared minus 7 squared, which factorizes into what I'm going to write here now, which is x minus 7 times x plus 7. And so the x plus 7 here cancels this one here, and we're left with x over x minus 7. So this results into x over x minus 7. All right, so we continue here, which is to find r such that the product of these two is equal to that. So remember, when we multiply indices, we add the powers. And so this side would become x to the 2 plus 6. And they're telling us that is equal to x to the power r. This 2 plus 6 is 8. And so this r is equal to 8. Simple as that. R is equal to 8. All right, because this will end up going to become that x to the 8 equal x to the r. And so if that is the case, then naturally the 2 powers would have to be equal, right? Because the base is the same. So that is it. These easy things don't need much explanation. For this one, s cubed is equal to 8. So this can be done 2 ways. We can write this 8 as 2 cubed and end up with s cubed equals 2 cubed if we recognize the 8 as 2 cubed. And so since now the powers are the same, it means that the base must be the same. And so the s would be equal to 2. But another way to do this question is to write it again, s cubed equals 8. And so to get rid of that cube, we could cube root both sides. So we could cube root this side and cube root the right side. Take the cube root of both sides because the inverse of this cube is cube root. So these would cancel and leave us with s as a subject. And then the cube root of 8 is 2. So then this side will become s, and the cube root of 8 is 2. If you don't know, we could show it on the calculator. But here, the cube root of 8 is actually equal to 2. You can see the 2 there. You mind those plus or minus, those are complex numbers. All right, cube root of 8 is 2. That's what this calculator does. Shows all the possible solutions. All right, so that is that. That finishes that part. Next part here gives us these diagrams. The diagram below shows a triangle and a quadrilateral. So that's your triangle, that's your quadrilateral. It says all angles are in degrees and are written in terms of A and or B. So these are the angles and they are all in degrees, all right? So we're seeing all those angles. What you must be mindful of is that the total angle in a triangle is 180 degrees. So these 3 angles add up to 180 degrees in the triangle. And in the quadrilateral, the 4 angles in the quadrilateral, they add up to 360 degrees. 360 degrees. All right. It says all angles are in degrees. And so the first part is to prove that for the triangle, 2a plus 5b is equal to 171. That's going to be obtained by basically saying that the sum of these angles is 180. And I've left off the degree here, so I'm just going to leave it off as well. So if we add up all the three angles, we are adding up the three angles, so we can add up the like terms first. So the only A terms in three angles are those two. So we can add those two first and we'll get 2A. We can add the B terms, which will be this one and this one. Those are the only B terms. If we add them, we're going to get 5B. And then we add the number. This is the only number there to add, which is 9. And that is equal to this 180. And this guy, that is it. And if you take this 9 and subtract on that side, 180 minus 9 gives us the 171 that they have here. So it becomes 2A plus 5B equals 171. So that was shown. All right. Hopefully they recognize that we added up the A's and so on. But I mean, I cannot penalize if I have the correct thing. And then in the case of the quadrilateral, they want us to show this equation now. So again, sum of these four angles would be 360 degrees. So again, we can use the approach of adding up all the terms in A, which would be this one, and this one. Those are the terms in A. So these two will be 6A minus 2 here. These are 7A. All right. So if you add up all of those, we're going to get 7A. And then if we add up the terms in B, it will be this one, and this one. So these two will be 6 plus that one is 8. So it's 8B. Sum of the B's is 8B. So we're adding the 8B. And then the only values, the values to add, there are no values to add. No, right, there's a value here. That's the only value number. So that's 18. So we're gonna add the 18. And that totals the 360. And then we just take this 18 and subtract. And we end up with the equation they gave us, which is 7A plus 8B equals 342. So maybe what we can do here is show that we subtracted 9, I mean. I'm going to put a minus 9 here. For example, to see, and down here we subtracted 18 from both sides. I'm going to put a minus 18 right here. So the 360 minus 18 would have given us that 342. All right, so that's how we get those two equations. Nice and easy. This part says we have to solve the pair of simultaneous equations in 1 and 2. That's these two equations we want to solve simultaneously to find the value for A and B. I want to show all working. All right, so I'm going to use an elimination method because these are two simple linear equations. A and B are the variables. So let's write them out. I'm going to use an elimination method. So let me write them out first. So it is 2A plus 5B equals 171. I'm writing them to show how I make the adjustment. And then it's 7A plus 8B equals 342. And let's say I want to eliminate the A. I want to eliminate the A terms. So because I want to eliminate the A terms, I want the two equations to have the same value on the A terms. So for that to happen, I have to multiply this equation by 7 because the lowest common multiple of the 2 and the 7 is 14. So I have to multiply this by a 7 for it to become 14. So I'm going to multiply this first equation by 7. So I multiply each value here by 7. And so this equation becomes 14A plus this 7 times this 5 is 35. So I'm getting 35B. And that will be equal to, I'm going to multiply this 171 by 7 as well. Let's just do it with the calculator. 171 times 7, that is 1197. 1197. Let's write that better. 1197. And then the second equation, I want again this term to become 14. So I'm going to multiply it by 2. Multiply this second equation by 2. And so this term will become 14A. All right, so equation becomes 14A. Multiply this one by the 2, I'm going to get 2, 8, 16. 16 D. And if I multiply this by 2, I'm going to get 684. Multiply each value there by 2. I'm going to get 684. And then to eliminate the A terms, I have to subtract the two equations. Subtract. I'm going to do the top one minus the bottom one. All right, so I'm going to subtract. Let's say subtract. That's what we're doing. We're going to subtract the two equations. That will eliminate the A first. Subtract. All right, so as I said, this 14A minus this 14A, the A is eliminated. And so I will have to do this 35B minus this 16B. So it's really 35 minus 16. 35 minus 16, that's 19. That's 19B. Will be equal now to this minus that. Let's write those out. So it's the 1197 minus 684. That's going to give us 513. Then to find the B, we need to divide by 19. Divide both sides by 19. That's going to give us the B. All right, so let's put what the B is going to be. We'll divide by 19. You see, they don't give a lot of space for this work, right? We have to divide 513 divided by 19. Get a nice even 27. 27. And then to find the A, we want to take this 27 and substitute it back in either equation 2 right here for the B or equation 1. So let's just substitute it in equation 1. So since I don't give a lot of space, I'm just going to say add and substitute the 27 there for the example to see. It's going to be 2A plus 5 times 27 is now equal to 171. And if I were to simplify this, it would be that I'm going to multiply those two, or I don't need to multiply them. Take this, subtract on this side, and then divide under the 2. So I have to work under here. There's not a lot of space. So the A is going to be 171 minus 5 times the 27. And then this 2 divide under here. Divide by 2. All right, so let's do that. So it will be 171 minus the, let's put that as a fraction first, fraction. All right, so it's 171 minus 5 times 27 all over 2. That is 18. So the A is equal to 18. All right, so those are my two answers right here. So this is an answer. And this A equals 18 is another answer. It's ridiculous. They don't give a lot of space for this thing. Now, what I have to do to make sure it is correct is test these values in the second equation. All right, so since I use the first equation to find my A, I'm going to just test them in the second equation over here quickly. It is 7 times the A value. In this here, 7 times the A value, which is the 18 plus, and it is 8 times the B value. So it's 8 times 27, 8 times 27. And that gives us the 342. So we know that these two answers that we have are correct. The B is 27 and the A is 18. All right, next question. Oh, that finishes this question. So again, I'm going to pause the video and we start back the next video at number 3. See you then.